Howdy everybody and welcome to Untitled. I am TJ. I will be your host right here as we take a look at this figure from Concrete Jungle Studios and artist Stephen Cartaccio. This will be our final review before our long summer break, but you can always tune in to the goings-on of Untitled, a collective that will emerge this fall on both Facebook and also on Instagram. So you're going to want to check out those pages to find out more information, and hopefully you'll be hearing more from me in the future. But for now, I want to tell you, this is the third in a series of fantastic resin sculptural pieces from Concrete Jungle Studios. Now, right here is the outer box, which is similar to his first in the line, which of course was Frank Poole, and you can see links to the last two reviews below. This also was then followed up with the figure Stanley, which was a very limited edition, and then there's a new figure coming soon, which is up on their website and now for pre-order. But here we have Markneto, and as per usual on their box designs, here we have yet another page from the ongoing comic story. And the sides have this same picture on both sides of Markneto's face in his sort of superhero garb. And then at the top, it is signed and numbered. So this is number 32 of 100. It's an edition of 100. And let me tell you folks, if you miss out on this, you're really going to miss out, because these figures are really interesting and really special in terms of design. They are like the top notch. So that's all I'm going to tell you. Except now I'm going to show you. Just like the previous two, this one comes to you on a stand of some sort. They're all different, and this is the most elaborate of all of the stands thus far, as you can see with this gorgeous kind of translucent fuchsia sort of flame that comes up from this silver base. You have Markneto with an exchangeable hand. This is the hand with the flame, which is the one that I certainly like best. And then it also comes with another hand, which you can exchange out, and these are magnetic. And this is like a hand that's kind of open, pointing a little bit. And watch, you just pop this out, pop this on, and voila, he's got a new expression. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to put this hand in as we do our little demo here. So, as you can see, here is yet another head for the figure. This comes on the base, and then inside the box the figure is in separate parts and pieces. The primary figure gets placed on here by you, the consumer, onto this flame, and it is intricately woven in, and I'll give you a 360 so you can see how his cape is waving all around, the tail curves in and around, the flames curve upwards, and it's really got an incredible curvilinear design. There's a lot going on here. Now, if you want to keep this on your shelf and suspend it in a room where you might have some dust, I did notice, because I had this out on a shelf for about a week, that all you need to actually do is use like one of those dust off air sprays, and the dust goes poof right away and nothing stuck. So that's really, really good, because sometimes with resin and humidity you get a little bit of kind of a dulling factor with dust in a home or wherever. One thing to also mention, which is really important, is that he comes with an exchangeable magnetic head. So his other head is quite elaborate and matches with his costumery, so you just pop this right off. Very strong magnet here, and boom, suddenly he goes into superhero mode with this incredible helmet that's got like kind of a cone shape at the top, and his ears are the same color. They've got this sort of almost fleshy-ish color, peachy, I should say. And then the hair extends down below the helmet. The paint on this is impeccable. There are so many like little tiny details that could go awry, but this purple here with this elaborate sort of almost metallic sheathy sort of feel, and this spidery looking emblem at the front really are both nicely designed and perfectly painted. They've done an incredible job here. On the chest, I want to also mention that kind of like, you know, if you saw the most recent Spider-Man, his new suit is like this skin tight, like almost like nylon meshy sort of metallic feel. He's got that same sort of meshy along the sides. And the figure itself, very tall, lithe, lean, skinny, and then a little bit muscular, but very elegant. And comparative to the last two, the first character, of course, he's a little bit of a mess. He's got a paunchy belly, and he's, you know, sort of one of those smart-ass sort of superhero, mythical, lost in the mix kind of characters. This guy looks like he means business. He's the magical guy of the entire group thus far. So you want to keep your eyes on this figure, which is basically a mouse that is Magneto, but here his version is called Markneto. Now, I want to say the contrast between the red and the purple is so dynamic and so stunning, it just completely pops. One thing to mention also about both of the heads is that they're both painted really, really nicely. There's not much difference between the two. Down the center of the nose into the sort of goatee chin area, there's sort of like this little light white wash over the gray. Details in the fur here on the face are really, really nicely drawn onto the sculpt. It's a beautiful sculpt. And the eyes have a white glossy sheen, whereas the face otherwise is matte and flat. So far, out of the three that have been released, this is definitely the best in terms of sculpt, paint, and overall presentation. This base can't be beat. One thing to mention is you've got to be careful though. This one of the three is the most elaborate and the most delicate. So if you're going to put this somewhere on display, make sure it's not anywhere where animals can get at it or children, etc. And if adults want to, you know, go in for the grab, you know, keep it in a place where there's like a flat wall behind it, so that in case there is any tippage. He is in here pretty well, but I would say that if you really wanted to keep this on the base permanently, you could super glue in the feet onto the base, and then you wouldn't have any, you know, consideration for worry at all whatsoever. I would say this figure is going to be well worth an addition to your collection if you like superheroes, if you like comic books, if you like spin-offs. Another thing to mention is the hands are matte, and then the belt, and then the arm cuffs, the neck shield, all are glossy. So he's done a fantastic job kind of balancing the glossy with the matte in this figure. This head is incredible with its silver metallic eyes. It's almost sort of like the past demon of the character's father, or like some kind of cyborg type creature. This is going to be a fantastic figure to put on your shelf. Let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, TJ for Resin Detra, out.